Welcome everybody to another edition of the Jamez Report. I'm going to be trying to do these videos every Tuesday, Wednesdays, and some days on the weekend. Today we're going to be talking about NWA Power. We're going to switch it up. We're getting away from WWE and AEW. We're going to be talking about NWA Power today. As always, if you like this video, you like the content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a Jamez Report updated video. Last night on NWA Power, I just finally sat down to watch it today. And let me tell you something. I'm still just as excited about NWA as I was the first time I watched it back on NWA, Back for the Fight. I still love what it is. It represents, if you like that old school, less drama, less of the entertainment value from a entertainment perspective. If you're entertained by old fashioned, just get out in the ring, settle it in the ring, let's do it that way, then NWA, I'm telling you guys, is for you. I appreciate what NWA is bringing to the table. The storylines make sense. The way they are handling storylines makes sense. There's not a lot of mumbo jumbo, things of what you see on cable network from WWE and sometimes AEW. So let's just get right into it. It starts off with Nick Aldis, which is the NWA champion. He comes out and says, hey, I am the real world champion. Kind of takes a little shot. Takes a little shot at all the other wrestling champions out there, saying, I am the real champion. And he even goes on to say, this is the most original pro wrestling show today. He'd be interrupted by Trevor Murdoch, who is the national championship. And he's coming out to confront Aldis, but he's most out there to go after Chris Adonis, which has been a thorn in Murdoch's side since Back for the Attack, who put him in the hospital. The emotion was there, and Nick Aldis says, hey, don't come out here disrespecting me, bucko. All right, don't come out here disrespecting me. You know, we came from Harley Race, and what Harley Race say? Because Murdoch says, you know what, Adonis? I'll take you out right now. I'll take you out next week. No disqualification, no countouts. I want my revenge. I'll even put my national championship on the line. Nick Aldis will bring up the fact that him and Trevor Murdoch broke into the business because of Harley Race. And says, what did Harley Race say? What's the most important rule in pro wrestling? I got to sit back for this one before I get into it. Never turn your back on your opponent. Bam! Chris Adonis attacks Trevor Murdoch, injuring him yet again. So the match is pretty much accepted at that point. Aaron Stevens and Kratos, which has been having a little bit of issue. Like I said, I'm just now getting an NWA. So I don't know the whole story behind a lot of these guys, but I know who they are. We're being interrupted by a man. I don't know his name. So those of you who watch NWA Power, who's been watching for a long time, if you know the guy's name, please tell me who it is. Put it in the comments below. It says, hey, you know what? I want to have a match for the tag team titles. And that's accepted for next week on Power. Next would be Jeremiah Plunkett versus Slice. Not Silver. Slice Boogie, who is becoming an up-and-coming guy. Slice Boogie's getting a little bit of a push. Just a little bit, you know. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit. They'd have a match, which was a pretty solid match. Slice Boogie would get that victory. Then they'd have a ladies' celebration match put on by Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa and Tim Storm, who's a commentator on there, who's also a wrestler. He would give you a little history why this match is going on against Sky Blue and Genocide versus Thunder Rosa, and I missed the woman's name that teamed up with Thunder Rosa. I don't know who that is. So once again, educate your boy. So in this match, it was a pretty solid match, but Tim Storm would say, you know, Thunder Rosa is trying to elevate the women's division in NWA by giving these ladies a chance and some airtime based on her status from being in AEW. And he said that's what the business is about, always advancing other talents. Those of you who wrestle, those of you who know, and those of you who know the history of wrestling, You know you got to elevate the business. You have to elevate those around you. You build up the people around you. That's how wrestling keeps going. That's how wrestling grows. It's the same thing in real life. Eventually, no matter what job you're doing, you have to train somebody to take your job so that you can elevate to the next level, and so that that job will be secure for future people. Camille would interrupt this match, and it made sense because Camille and Thunder Rosa have a history. Melina came out there and took the place of Velvet Sky for this match. And when Camille interrupted, Genocide, which is just about the same height Camille, had a little interaction. You know, nothing kind of says, hey, this match is probably going to take place here very soon. Well, I think Thunder Rosa might interfere even. But I'm just going to say it right now. Let me just say that right. Let me just say that right now. Sorry, getting a phone call in the middle of this and doing this on my phone. I believe the NWA Women's Division is better than AEW's Women's Division. Just saying that right now. Me personally, I feel like the matches that I've seen, they've made more sense. They're more believable. I care more about the competitors in the ring than I do in AEW Women's Division. We all know that AEW has had a lackluster of a women's division. Based not because of the talent itself, because of how the storylines go and how they handle that division. It's gotten better, but it's not quite there, and I think NWA is really conquered on that. Before that match, I skipped over Tyrus with Austin Idol as his manager, and which is also known as Brodus Clay. Tyrus was Brodus Clay in WWE against Matthew Mims. And usually when you see these type of matches, you know Tyrus is going to go over, but it wasn't a squash match. They gave some Matthew Mims, they gave him some offensive moves. Kind of made you believe in him a little bit. They're letting these guys come out there and show what they can do before they get beat, which I highly respect, highly regard. And then they have the Pope and Fred Rosser, wrestler known as Fred Rosser was Darren Young in WWE, and Elijah Burke obviously was the Pope when he was in WWE/ECW. That match was supposed to take place tonight for the championship match, the NWA television title, but it's got postponed to next week. And what would be taking place now would be the NWA National Championship match, no disqualification, no count out, which with Trevor Murdoch and Chris Adonis as the main event. Murdoch comes out there with a neck brace, still selling the injury. They stressed that with Nick Aldis would come out there and be on the commentator, taking the place of Velvet Sky again. Tony Storm, which I really like, because if you watch Trevor Murdoch, he's acting like he has no feeling in his hands, and Tony Storm would even go on to say, hey, when you have a neck injury, you know, you lose feeling in your hands. You don't have the feeling in your arms like you would. And Adonis really dominated the match, which he should have, because Trevor Murdoch was injured. Trevor Murdoch was selling that injury. Trevor Murdoch was hurt. Trevor Murdoch was just, you know, he shouldn't have been out there defending that title. You felt for Trevor Murdoch. He was selling that neck injury. He did some offensive end, but I mean, he was just trying to survive. Nick Adonis would end up getting the win. So he is your new NWA National Champion now. This really all had to happen because it looks like Trevor Murdoch versus Nick Aldis is going to be Nick Aldis' next opponent. The one going after the NWA Championship, which, you know what, makes a lot of sense. Murdoch has some following. Murdoch is a big star in NWA. And it kind of has that, the two worlds. You got Trevor Murdoch, this redneck from Texas. He chews tobacco. He drinks beer. He's just a down-home country boy going against the high-class champion, Nick Aldis, who stays away from chew tobacco. He looks down on Trevor Murdoch, the middle class, and all that stuff. So I'm really interested to see where they go with this. I'm really interested to see how they're going to build this story between Nick Aldis versus Trevor Murdoch. You know, I'm going to be pulling for Trevor Murdoch in this. You know, I'm just saying, you know, NWA Power, like I said, you know, maybe it's just because I'm in the honeymoon stage. of it, but I really feel like NWA Power is is a better show at sometimes, and I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Monday Night Raw this week. So there's that. So I encourage you guys, if you made it to the end of this video, go check out NWA Power. Go check out what they have to offer. It's on every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, 7:05 I think maybe. Go check it out. Don't be afraid. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button to this channel. That way you never miss out on these videos that I'll be dropping. The heat that I have. Ha. So I hope you guys liked the video. I'll see you guys on the flippity flip with some more videos. Catch y'all later.